Ancient Egypt. The name alone evokes a sense of wonder and mystery. For centuries, this civilization has captivated our imaginations, whispering tales of powerful pharaohs, enigmatic gods, and colossal monuments that seem to defy time itself. From the fertile banks of the Nile River, a unique culture blossomed, leaving behind a legacy that continues to intrigue and inspire us today. The ancient Egyptians left their mark on art, architecture, religion, and even language, shaping the course of human history in profound ways. Their story is one of innovation, resilience, and a deep connection to the natural world. It is a story that deserves to be told and retold, each telling revealing new layers of complexity and wonder. At the heart of ancient Egypt flowed the Nile River, a life-giving artery that snaked its way through the arid landscape. This river was not just a geographical feature, it was the very essence of existence for the people who lived along its banks. The Egyptians recognized the Nile's significance, referring to it as Ar or Our, meaning black, a testament to the rich, fertile silt it deposited upon its banks after the annual floods. This silt was the foundation of their agricultural success, enabling them to grow crops in an otherwise inhospitable environment. These floods were not feared but anticipated, seen as a blessing from the gods. The annual inundation was a time of celebration and hope, as it promised a bountiful harvest and the sustenance of their society. The floodwaters brought life-giving water and nutrient-rich silt to the land, transforming the arid landscape into fertile fields ripe for cultivation. This natural irrigation system was crucial for their survival and prosperity. The Egyptians became masters of irrigation, developing ingenious systems of canals and basins to control the floodwaters and maximize their agricultural output. These innovations allowed them to manage the unpredictable nature of the Nile and ensure a stable food supply. This mastery of their environment allowed them to flourish, providing the surplus of food and resources necessary for the development of a complex and sophisticated civilization. Their ability to harness the power of the Nile was a testament to their ingenuity and resilience, laying the groundwork for one of the most remarkable cultures in human history. The prosperity brought by the Nile's bounty enabled the Egyptians to build monumental structures, develop a rich cultural heritage, and make advancements in art, science, and technology. The river was not just a source of sustenance, but a catalyst for the growth of a civilization that would leave an indelible mark on the world. Before the rise of a unified Egypt, the land was divided into two distinct regions, each with its own unique characteristics and way of life. There was Upper Egypt in the south, a land of narrow valleys and rugged cliffs, where the terrain was harsh and the people were resilient, adapting to the challenging environment. And then there was Lower Egypt in the north, a region dominated by the expansive Nile Delta. Here, the river fanned out into a network of waterways, creating fertile lands that supported thriving communities and abundant agriculture before emptying into the Mediterranean Sea. Around 3100 BCE, a powerful ruler named Narmer emerged from Upper Egypt. He embarked on a campaign to conquer Lower Egypt, bringing the two regions together under his rule. This monumental achievement is depicted on the famous Narmer Palette, an artifact that symbolizes the unification of Egypt. This unification marked a significant turning point in Egyptian history, paving the way for the emergence of the dynastic period. It was a time of great cultural and political development as the newly unified Egypt began to flourish. Narmer, wearing the distinctive double crown of Upper and Lower Egypt, became the first pharaoh of the First Dynasty. This double crown symbolized the unity of the two lands and established a lineage of rulers that would endure for centuries, laying the foundation for the grandeur and legacy of ancient Egypt. The early dynastic period saw the construction of the first monumental structures, the development of hieroglyphic writing, and the establishment of religious and cultural practices that would define Egyptian civilization for millennia. The legacy of Narmer and the early dynasties set the stage for the remarkable achievements of ancient Egypt, a civilization that continues to captivate the world to this day. The Old Kingdom period, roughly from 2686 to 2181 BCE, is perhaps best known for the construction of the pyramids, colossal monuments that stand as enduring symbols of ancient Egyptian civilization. These structures have fascinated historians, archaeologists and tourists alike for centuries. These magnificent structures were not merely tombs, but complex expressions of royal power, religious beliefs and architectural ingenuity. They were designed to ensure the pharaoh's journey to the afterlife, reflecting the ancient Egyptians' deep spiritual beliefs. The most famous pyramids are those at Giza, built by the pharaohs Khufu, Khafra and Menkaure. Each pyramid was part of a larger complex that included temples, smaller pyramids and other structures. Their construction required immense resources, manpower and engineering skill. Thousands of laborers, including skilled artisans and workers, toiled for decades to create these wonders. Huge blocks of stone quarried from sites miles away were transported and lifted into place with astonishing precision, using a combination of ramps, sledges and sheer human effort. Their smooth, angled sides aligning perfectly with the cardinal directions. This precise alignment was not only an architectural feat, but also had significant religious and cultural implications. Inside these monumental tombs, pharaohs were laid to rest with all the riches and provisions they would need for the afterlife. These included jewelry, food, and even boats, all intended to ensure a comfortable journey and existence in the world beyond. God-kings, the pharaohs of ancient Egypt. At the helm of ancient Egyptian society stood the pharaoh, a ruler who embodied both earthly and divine authority. The word pharaoh itself originally referred to the royal palace, but it eventually came to encompass the ruler who resided within. Pharaohs were not merely kings, they were considered living gods, intermediaries between the human and divine realms. They were believed to be the embodiment of Horus, the falcon-headed god of kingship, and were tasked with maintaining Ma'at, the cosmic order that governed all aspects of life. Their authority was absolute, extending over every facet of Egyptian society, from the construction of temples and pyramids to the management of resources and the conduct of warfare. The ancient Egyptians were deeply preoccupied with the afterlife, believing that death was not an end but a transition to another realm. They developed elaborate funerary practices to ensure that the deceased would have a successful journey to the afterlife. Central to these practices was mummification, a complex process of preserving the body. The organs were removed and placed in canopic jars, while the body was treated with natron salts and wrapped in linen bandages. Amulets and protective spells were placed among the wrappings to ward off evil spirits. The mummified body was then placed in a sarcophagus and interred in a tomb, surrounded by provisions and treasures for the afterlife. The ancient Egyptians worshipped a vast pantheon of gods and goddesses, each representing different aspects of nature, human experience, and the cosmos. These deities were not remote, abstract entities, but active forces in the world, interacting with humans and influencing the course of events. Among the most important gods were Ra, the sun god, Osiris, the god of the underworld and rebirth, Isis, the goddess of magic and healing, and Horus, the god of kingship. Temples were constructed throughout the land as homes for the gods, places where offerings were made, and rituals were performed to honor them and ensure their favor. Ancient Egyptian civilization was not solely defined by its monumental architecture and complex religious beliefs. It was also a culture of immense artistic achievement, intellectual curiosity, and technological innovation. The Egyptians developed a system of hieroglyphic writing, a combination of pictographic and phonetic symbols, which they used to record everything from religious texts and royal decrees to everyday transactions and personal letters. They were skilled mathematicians, astronomers, and physicians, developing sophisticated systems of mathematics, charting the movements of the stars, and pioneering medical practices that were advanced for their time. The rise of ancient Egypt from a collection of scattered settlements to a unified and powerful civilization is a testament to human ingenuity, adaptability, and the enduring power of belief. The monuments they left behind, the stories they told, and the innovations they pioneered continue to resonate with us today, offering a glimpse into a world both familiar and profoundly different from our own. Their story is far from over. In the annals of ancient Egypt, we find a civilization that continues to captivate our imaginations, inviting us to delve deeper into its mysteries and uncover the secrets of its enduring legacy.